Welcome Junior Tikkies, I am Miss Kutsia and I'm here today to teach you about photosynthesis. So let's have a look at what is photosynthesis. So it is a process which takes place in green plants. During this process, we will have sunlight which provides radiant energy for carbon dioxide to react with water. And during this chemical reaction, we will have two products known as oxygen and glucose, which is a sugar. Carbon dioxide is taken up by the plant through the leaves directly from the atmosphere. Water is taken up by the plant through the roots directly from the soil. And then oxygen will leave the plant through the leaves directly into the atmosphere, where we as living organisms will inhale the oxygen. And glucose is used for cell respiration, or the excess glucose, so the glucose which is not used for cell respiration, will be stored in the form of starch. So let's have a look at what is an autotroph and a heterotroph. So organisms such as green plants or even algae is known as autotrophs. So these are organisms which produces their own food. Other organisms that cannot produce their own food are known as heterotrophs. So these organisms rely on other organisms as an energy source. So let's have a look at what allows an autotroph to photosynthesize. So in each single little leaf that we find, each leaf will be made up of millions and millions of cells. So if we have a look at a cell, inside a cell we will find a small microscopic structure called the chloroplast. And the chloroplast contains a green pigment called chlorophyll. This green pigment captures radiant energy of the sun to ensure that energy is available for the process of photosynthesis to take place. Chemical reactions are not just important in science, but also in biology. Because we only started science in term 2, I will show you how to read and understand a chemical reaction. So on the left hand side of your screen, you guys will realize and see that we have two substances, carbon dioxide and water, and they are known as the reactants. And this is what is needed for this reaction to take place. Then secondly, we have the arrow, which shows that a chemical reaction is going to take place. So it will always point towards the products. So on the right hand side of the arrow, you will find the products, glucose and oxygen. So this is the product which is produced during this chemical reaction which is taking place. And then lastly, we will add sunlight to the equation. You will see that we will add it at the top of the arrow because it doesn't take part of the chemical reaction, but it's needed for the chemical reaction to take place. So each of the products that's produced plays a very important role in providing in the survival of living organisms. So let's have a look at the importance. So radiant energy of the sun is converted into chemical energy, which is stored in a glucose molecule, which we obviously find in our food which we eat. And this glucose molecule or chemical energy is very important for the 7 life processes to take place. The oxygen which is inhaled plays a very important role in cell respiration. So why cell respiration is so important is to release the chemical energy from the glucose molecule. So what are the 7 life processes? Cell respiration, nutrition, reproduction, movement, excretion, sensitivity, and growth. So excretion refers to metabolic waste, which is things like carbon dioxide, water, and urea. And sensitivity will refer to how an organism reacts to heat and cold. And that is it for my video on photosynthesis. Please make sure to look at my next video on cell respiration to see exactly what happens to the products which is produced during photosynthesis.